Welcome back, everyone, to the Galaxy's favorite talk show. As always, I am your host, Nick, joined by my co-host, Joshua.
Nick, what are we talking about today?
We'll be talking about Thor Love and Thunder.
Okay, this is your movie of the year, correct?
Dude, I wish it was. We were supposed to drop a review on this, I think, probably a week or two after we saw it in June.
Okay.
But, you know, the files got corrupted, so we're
that.
reshooting a review. We kind of have a more, I guess, different perspective on it now.
This might benefit the review, I guess.
I think so, too.
It won't benefit the movie because I think typically when we review right after, they're usually a bit higher.
Yeah.
Right off, like, I think we're more hyped.
We're like straight out the theater,
yeah,
like hyped up.
When you give it some time to sit, you know, it kind of gets a little stale.
Yeah.
It can happen. Some movies, it could get better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still rating The Batman high.
Oh, yeah.
That
Dude, that
so
movie
good.
still came out earlier this year. It's still like my top movie this year.
It's one of my
I'm excited when we
year.
do the year review, what we're going to rate our top picks.
Anyway, yeah, this movie, I actually just rewatched it maybe a week or two ago with my parents because they hadn't seen it yet and it was on Disney Plus.
Nice.
So I have it a little more fresh memory on it. Nick hasn't seen it, I think, since theaters.
No.
So
I still remember what I don't like about it, and I think now that I've had more time to think about it, I can be like, okay, this is like really why.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, let's just go full spoilers.
Yeah.
Because this movie's been out. It's on Disney Plus, bro. Like, go watch it if you haven't already. If you don't care, like, whatever. This isn't one that I would say, like, no, you gotta watch this. Like, it's okay. It's if I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of mid.
Mid Thunder?
It's Mid Thunder, bro. It's Thor mid. Oh, man.
Damn. It's interesting because it's funny, before we were talking about this review, I brought up that Taika Watiti won't be returning for Thor 5.
It's looking that way. Especially after the reaction of this movie. Yeah,
it seems like it's not a bad Marvel movie, but it seemed to has a split in the middle fan base. People either love it or people are disappointed by it.
Yeah, and look, I'm not gonna be one of those people that says this movie's dog awful.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say it's ass crack.
No,
I'm not gonna say any of that. I'm not gonna. I think the movie's fine. I don't think it's anything crazy, nothing special.
Yes,
I think it's not bad. I would say it's pretty average. I like Ragnarok better. I think Ragnarok was more fun. I think it was did what this one did, but better. Yeah, pretty much is what I would say. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm wondering what went wrong because I've seen a lot of Taika Waititi's things, and most of the time he's pretty good with what he does. You know?
I agree.
I just don't know if maybe this one he didn't know the source material as well. I don't know. He seems to, because the biggest issue I have with this, I think that there's not enough context. I don't know if that's the right word. Basically, what I'm saying is, the main villain of this is Gore, played by Christian Bale, and I think he's the best part of the movie. I
think he does really well in this movie too. Yeah. I think the opening actually was very strong.
The opening scene is good.
The direction afterwards, I guess leading up to the climax was...
It kind of falls apart, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's... A lot of people have put it to saying there's too much comedy, and they're saying that's what the MCU does, and maybe that's part of it, but I think comedy's fine. A lot of people's favorite character was Iron Man, and Iron Man joked all the time.
Oh yeah, it's part of his character.
Yeah, and I understand a lot of people were like, nah, bro, Thor's not a jokey character. I mean, before, when Thor wasn't as jokey, people didn't like his movies. They didn't do as well. Yeah. And they changed him up, and since then he's been a fan favorite.
Yeah, I think it was since Ragnarok, people were really...
Yeah, and he was great in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame, he was great.
And Endgame, he's still jokey. He still has jokes in those movies, but he's still serious as well. I think they had the perfect blend. Yeah. And I think this one, maybe the blend, maybe it's not as balanced.
Not as 50-50.
Yeah, it's a little, I don't know. I don't think Thor is the full issue, though. I think for me, we needed to see maybe more gore, or maybe at least more scenes that kind of broke up the jokes a bit more.
Yeah, he means Christian Bale's character, because
he doesn't
not gore as in violence, but Gore the character.
The character's name is Gore. Yeah. Well, because like one thing, this is, I guess, if you bought the movie, they have like deleted scenes.
I seen a couple deleted scenes actually. If you want to talk about them,
I was gonna talk about the deleted scene between Thor and
Zeus.
Zeus, yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
when
like,
he's teaching him to use
why
the
did they cut
Thunderbolt?
this? Why was this cut?
Yeah.
I like that scene infinitely better than what we got.
Yeah. So there's a deleted scene. I think it's maybe a minute or two where Thor is walking with Zeus, and it's just the two of them on some part of, where did they go to?
Olympus.
Yeah, they were on Olympus, and Zeus is like teaching him how to use the Thunderbolt. He's like, yo, it's not like about having the Thunderbolt. He's talking about something about like showing it where to go.
Yeah, and he's talking about how like it's like the power is all around.
Yeah, he says like it, and honestly, this
energy.
Explains so much better the finale of the movie.
It does,
because Thor literally gives all the kids like
it explains
god powers.
All that. It actually like makes sense now,
and it makes it better. And
I agree.
It honestly makes me like Zeus's character a lot more because I feel like they faked him out to be. I don't know if it was like how they wanted him from the beginning, but like Russell Crowe's portrayal of Zeus is very like, it feels very sarcastic to me. And like as someone who's supposed to be like leader of the gods in Olympia, like he seems like to not really give a shit.
Yeah, and like I think they could have done both because I think Zeus typically, it depends who's writing the story. For like if you look at the God of War series, like Zeus is an asshole.
Yeah.
And like if you think about it, like a god would have a huge ego. Like if these were people, they'd have huge egos.
I could understand someone living for so long and like seeing so much like.
And like I think that's what the role, that's what they were going for. That's what we got in the official movie release.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's like that and kind of stuck up and doesn't really care about anything else, you know. And that makes sense. But I think what they could have done is they could have had like a scene like that, and then they could have had like, that's why maybe him and Thor are off by themselves. Maybe he like went off by himself. He's like, look, bro, like I know I've lost my way. Like he's like, I mean, this is just how it is. Because he's saying he can't go with him because I think that the answer is he's saying like, I want to do something, but like the pure of heart can't go there. People with pure intentions.
Yeah.
He's like, I lost that. He's like, I don't got that no more.
He's like, I'm no longer pure.
And he's like, but you can like go there. And he helps him what he can. And I think that's good because it shows that despite what he's become and how he does know he's lost his way, he still is good. Because like Zeus isn't, I don't think he's like a fucking bad guy. He's like a, you know, like it's like Wreck-It Ralph, bro. Like you might be a bad guy. It doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Exactly.
It's facts. So like I think that would have been better, and I would have liked the character more. I would have explained the ending.
That was a really good deleted scene, and I don't think it would have taken anything to just leave it in there.
It just adds to it, in my opinion. Like the only thing it takes away is we don't get the scene where he presumably kills Zeus, where he didn't kill Zeus. He's the god.
Yeah.
And then I guess it would have changed the post. I guess maybe it's because they wanted to introduce Hercules. Because like the post credit,
but I feel like
they could have still introduced him, but they would have had to just write it differently.
Yeah, it feels really out of place and honestly out of character. Because it would have made more sense if Gore killed Zeus, and then Thor is like oh my god, because it seems like Thor and Gore are like one-on-one, like one for one on killing gods. Because Gore killed one god we saw on screen, and then Thor kills a god on screen. It's very weird, and for someone like called the God Butcher, like. Yeah, that's like it seems weird that the tally is matched. Like we should have had more like gore scenes.
Yeah, we're told and I guess shown on the Guardian ship that Gore's been like murdering a ton of people, like a ton of gods around the universe. Yeah, but I really do think we would have benefited from like seeing more of that. Yeah, at least once, like at least the one scene where we see. Where Thor shows up and there's the big ass god that's dead and he's standing there, and that's actually taken directly from a comic panel. Like it's like
I appreciated that shot.
Yeah, I think that's good. But
one
like
of the
they kind of
things of the movie that I actually really enjoyed seeing.
I agree. I think they should do that more often because I'm sure they have to like pay royalties to the artist and the people that made that because like it's like literally like their work like on screen. Like that must feel awesome,
dude. Fuck yeah, seeing it in the movie.
Yeah. I think that scene, I bet you actually that they probably have more footage from that fight because Lady Sif is there, but she's like barely in it. I thought she was gonna, when I heard she was back in this, I was like, oh shit, like she's gonna maybe play a role in this.
It's cool.
I thought it would be interesting because we knew, and maybe they're doing too much, maybe that's why they took her out of it, but at least because I was gonna say like we know that she kind of had a thing for Thor, I guess, but then he was with Jane. Yeah. And this whole thing is about him and Jane, I guess, still liking each other all these years. and like still in love with each other, but she dies.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm sure if they would have thrown in Sif for more screen time, it would have been like another love triangle. It's like, what are we doing this for?
Yeah.
So I get that, but at least they should have shown like the battle with Sif in it. Show how she lost her arm, so we can see Gore in action and see more about him. I want to see him just fucking people up.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of Christian Bale because I think he talked about like in an interview that there were so many scenes he shot and that were cut from the movie. And that must suck to be like cast in a Marvel movie, probably the only one he's ever going to do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And, all these scenes and stuff that you've worked hard to do. Because I know like Christian Bale's a very dedicated actor, like just to have him cut out.
I wonder why, because this runtime was also the second shortest, I think.
Was it like under 2 hours?
It was under 2 hours.
It was an hour 58 or 50. Even 40.
I think it was an hour 50, but like maybe 48, honestly.
Let's see, 119 minutes. So
120 is 2 hours, so it's So
like
it's just under 2 hours. Yeah. But like you got to think credits, like how long are the credits?
Like 7 minutes, 10 minutes more.
So yeah, take off 10 minutes from that. It's about an hour 50, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that long of a movie. I mean, it's still a long movie. It's like, I guess it just feels like nowadays, like, I mean, the Batman was 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was 250, I think. So like that movie's long, but I mean, I think it's paced well.
Yeah.
I feel like I watched that movie like fucking 5 or 6 times.
I've watched it like 4 times.
I've seen it a lot. It's on HBO Max, and like I still enjoy it.
Yeah, I see your point. Like, I don't think a movie is like super shitty if it's like long or short. Like, it's always just kind of about the pacing of your story,
exactly.
And like if you can pull off the 3-act structure like in a efficient way, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like this one, I don't know. It just feels like maybe there's, especially after seeing the deleted scene with Zeus, it feels like maybe there was some stuff on the cutting room floor that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's missing something to make me feel more invested in it. I think that's what it is. Because, like, right now, like, there's parts I like. Like, I really like the scene when they go to the Shadow Realm or wherever, and they're fighting on that, like, planet, and it's all black and white. I like how...
I thought that was very cool.
That whole... The visuals and the fight scene and everything in that scene is really good. I love how whenever they use the lightning bolt or Thor's, like, hammer or whatever, I love how it adds a little bit of color. Like, you see the blue hue from the lightning or the yellow from the lightning bolt, and I like how then it kind of adds color to their skin and what they're wearing. You see it come back for a second, and then it goes back away because it's so dark that there's no color.
Yeah.
I think that's all looks great. That's probably might be my favorite scene. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think another thing that seems out of place is the way that they wrote Thor and like some of the things he says. Because going back to that Lady Sif scene, like, this is the first time we've seen her since like the Dark World, I think, right?
Yeah, she wasn't in Ragnarok for some reason.
Yeah, and like one of Thor's like closest friends from like early on, because I think almost all of them got killed by Hela.
All the other ones, yeah, all of his other friends.
They were killed by Hela in Ragnarok. But it's like his first time seeing her, and he's like cracking jokes like, oh, like your arm might be in Valhalla, but like you didn't die nobly on the battlefield. And it just seems very out of place. Like, I feel like they could have just made that serious.
Yeah,
because there's times at the movie where I can't take it seriously with like what the story is trying to tell, with all these like just jokes coming in like each piece of dialogue, I guess, you know?
I think I agree, especially in the Sif scene, because she has like less than a minute of screen time.
Yeah.
And her only line is like, at first it starts serious and she's like, oh my God, it was awful. It was a massacre. Like all this stuff. And you're like, oh shit, like it's bad. And then he's just like, and she's like, no, like, let me be here. Like, I want to go to Valhalla. Like, just kill her then. Like, that'll have more weight, I guess, then. Because then if she dies out.
Imagine if Thor had to kill his own friend.
Like, if she dies there and she's gone, it's like, damn, like, this dude means business. But then he's just like, oh, no, like you're good. Maybe your arm is Valhalla. And she's like, oh, damn. I think she literally says, like, oh, dang it, or something like that.
Yeah.
And, like, it's like, that's it. That's pretty much it. I guess, like, that's kind of like, I do agree now that you mentioned that. I feel like they could still, if they want to throw that joke in there, then make it go back to being serious, and like maybe she like talks more about what's going on or what happened, or maybe then she kind of narrates it and we see a quick flashback of what happened. Yeah.
Something.
And then, yeah, damn, they could have done something more there. Cause like the first opening scene, I really like, despite like, it being kind of like a a cop out that the blade like just goes to his hand.
Yeah, that was kind of like
it just like goes
dude happened
right
to be right
him.
next to
yeah.
it. But
it's kind of a cop out that it happens to be there, and like the god literally gives him exposition like, oh, that's the blade.
Like that's the blade that could kill me.
Yeah, he's like, but be careful, like it corrupts the person that holds it. Like it gives us.
And he's like,
it's exposition. So it's kind of like that's kind of lazy writing, but despite that, I think I like the tone of the opening scene a lot.
Me too.
I just wish there was more of that continuing throughout the film.
Yeah. To bring up one of my favorite directors, like James Gunn,
Mm-hmm.
I think he balances like comedy and like serious tones like really well. Because in the Suicide Squad, like they're a dysfunctional team of like of supervillains and shit.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of the dialogue they give each other is like funny. I love that whole sequence of Bloodsport and Peacemaker just like killing the like rebels on the island. That was funny.
Yeah.
But then we also have like really serious tones and like moments where like I think King Shark, he's like, oh, like I don't have any friends, like
on the bus with like Ratcatcher.
Yeah, Ratcatcher's giving the story of her dad, which Taika Watiti played her dad.
Yeah, he did.
Bring it full circle. But I think James Gunn does a really good job with that because he doesn't, I guess, overblend like comedy and drama and stuff. Like he treats them as two separate things. And it's important to know when to like space it out in your story and to take certain themes and scenes like seriously, because like the people that you're showing it to, like it affects how people see the outcome of the movie, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Like for me, I'm remembering Thor Love and Thunder as like an overly dressed like comedy like that could have been a lot better and stuff. And I really wonder what the outcome of the movie they originally had in mind with all those deleted scenes, because like deleted scenes, they shoot them to be like, oh, like if we can fit this in the movie then we will, but like what we got seems to be like the overall product that Disney wanted to give us. And I wish it was something, I guess, different, maybe even truer to like what Taika Waititi's vision. I wonder
if this, because like I wonder if Taika Waititi was like, this is what he wanted. I wonder if this was like him. Or I wonder if it was more of a studio thing where they're like, oh, let's just make it like this.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like I really like Ragnarok I really like still. I think that movie is really good.
I love it. It's probably one of the most, like, emotionally heavy, too, like, of the Thor movies. Like, he loses his dad, technically his sister, too.
Yeah.
He loses his eye. He loses his hammer. Like, there's so much loss in that movie that he has to deal with. And, like, you know, Thor tries to keep a positive attitude and stuff, but still, like, it's pretty messed up, bro.
Yeah. And I don't know, I guess, because like he also he did what's that one movie, Jojo Rabbit, and that movie's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know, I feel like I got to a point where I think he's a good filmmaker, and I think he makes good decisions. So like I'm like, what happened here? Because like it doesn't feel like, I don't know. I feel like even in the interviews I've seen, because I saw an interview where he was talking about like breaking down scenes from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't even seem too like excited about it. Like I don't know if he just like was like like I don't know. It just doesn't. He doesn't feel as passionate about this as he did for Ragnarok. And I don't want to just be like reading into things. Like if he did feel passionate about this, I feel bad because then I'm just bashing him and I'm like, he didn't even feel passionate. But like,
yeah,
I hope that's not the case. But like, I mean, I'm sorry if it is. Like it's just, something went wrong. Something was not it.
Yeah.
But then again, like I do think there's good parts in this. Like I do like I said, all the scenes of Christian Bale are good. I like, after having time to think on it, I do kind of like the ending. I like how Thor doesn't just like beat like Gore to death. He's like, okay, if this is like my last moment, let me spend it with like Jane. I do think there's some corny writing, like how Jane like says, "Eat my hammer."
God, dude, I like Jane in this movie.
I think she's fun. I actually enjoyed. I'm glad Natalie Portman came back.
Yes.
I think my only issue with like the final thing is, I guess like whenever they introduce wishes into movies, it's always a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Because then you have to be so specific. Like if you don't give the rules of the wish, because like then people were always like, well, why didn't you just wish for this, you know?
Yeah.
And in this one, they don't establish any rules. They just say like, if you're the first one to like get to eternity, he'll grant you whatever you desire. So like he wants his daughter back.
Yeah, because she died.
Yeah.
In the opening I guess, exposition.
Yeah, and the part that doesn't make sense to me, and this might just because of my context, in the comic, that Gore's from, his wife and daughter both die, but in this one, his wife doesn't exist. They never show her. They don't mention her. He just has a daughter, and we just have to, I guess, assume that they had a divorce or something. I don't know.
On the planet
she's
Gore.
not there. So but the thing is in the comic that he's doing all this, and the eternity thing, I don't even think is part of the comic. I think he's literally just he just wants revenge. And in this one, I do like the change how it's like, oh, he's kind of getting corrupted by the sword, but he does want revenge because they did fuck him over. So like the wish thing of eternity is new. So he wants to use that. Actually, it wasn't to bring back his daughter at first. He was going to use it to kill every god. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, all gods will die.
That was going to be his wish, to just kill them all in like one wish. So then Thor convinced him to bring her back, but then he says like, oh, but like then she'll have nobody, because like I guess he's like, I'm gonna die because I guess he lost the sword.
Yeah,
so,
I think I always took it as like a life for another.
But like that's not what they said. Like why would he turn to be like, okay, but you gotta die? Like that's the part that I don't understand, because like if I feel like realistically, if he were gonna be like that, like why does he have to die too? Did Thor like fuck him up to where he was injured? Like I don't remember that happening. Like why was he gonna die?
Yeah.
Like cause like, and the reason why I think that they don't have the wife in this, like, because then he could just wish for his family back, and then Thor wouldn't have to watch over the daughter, because he would just have his wife and the wife could watch her.
Yeah,
so that's why they
true.
took the wife out, because they wanted it to be Love and Thunder, and that's like the title. It's like a poetic thing.
Yeah.
That's why they wanted to do that. So like, I don't know. That's my main thing. And but it's because of wishes. Like look at fucking Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh God.
Like the whole thing's about wishes, and like she somehow convinced the entire world to take their wishes back.
Yeah.
Like it's so unrealistic.
That movie was such a mess, man. I really wanted to like it.
Honestly, looking at that movie makes this movie seem better.
Yeah. It went up half a star.
It did. It did, man.
Talking about the finale though, I actually like how they showed Eternity.
He looks
in this movie.
I really like.
It looks crazy.
I wasn't expecting to see Eternity in this, so like I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was a big surprise in the movie for sure. Yeah. And I think Taika Watiti was talking about it. He's like, I didn't want to like cast an actual person as like Eternity. Mm-hmm. Like I just wanted it to be kind of like just this thing.
Yeah, I think that's a great decision.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to like take away like this, kind of like how they revealed Kang and Loki. Mm-hmm. Like you're like, oh shit, who's this mysterious figure? Like if they just had it kind of be the way they presented it, it didn't take away from the performances of the other actors.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that worked to its benefit.
I think it works very well, and I love how he literally looks like it looks like they straight up took like how Eternity is drawn in a comic, and they just took the outline and then they just made it like.
Yeah, I like that shit. It was really
looks like straight up.
It was so cool to fucking look at.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that.
Yeah. I really like we were saying, Jane Foster in this movie is really cool. Her side story is that she got cancer at some point.
I do like that. Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't like that she has cancer, but I like that. Like it's
yeah, bro.
It's taken from like the comic where she had cancer.
Yeah.
And I like how they actually incorporated that, because I don't think there was any hint of that in any of the trailers or anything.
No, yeah.
So I'm glad that
it just seemed like she was just the new Thor.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they have that in there.
It was cool. So like
it adds like weight to it, like she's gonna die.
Yeah, it does. Because there's one scene that we get where I think she stops wielding the hammer and she kind of turns back to like her sick,
like looks weak as
her
hell.
Sick self. I thought that was a cool choice how they told her story.
Yeah, I agree. I also oh man, what was it? I guess the other part this is something I kind of don't like. Okay. I feel like they didn't know what they were doing with Valkyrie. Like,
yeah.
She doesn't really have like an arc or anything in this. I feel like she could have easily
had
something.
I thought her Valkyrie arc was going to be like discovered, because I remember Hela was like, oh, like you were one of the Valkyrie people that I killed. And like she lost all of her friends in like her soldier battalion, whatever. She's like the last surviving one.
Yeah.
And I thought that there was going to be some kind of arc where, I don't know, I'm just spitballing. Maybe she recognizes like the importance of like where she came from, and she kind of like wants to, I guess maybe start like a new Valkyrie army.
I thought
for like
she
New
would do that
Asgard
too.
or something.
Because like she's the king of New Asgard.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like she's like in a position she doesn't even want to.
Yeah,
she doesn't even want to be in it.
It seems like she's missing like being a warrior and all that. So I was like, okay, her arc is gonna be like she does this, and then she's gonna probably form her thing and learn that she, you know, like something like that. I don't know. You could figure it out.
Yeah,
I thought that. I agree. I think that's what it should have been. But like she literally just, she's like, oh, I'm gonna go along because like I don't want to be the king. I want to have fun and go do something.
Yeah.
Or something like that, which like that makes sense. That's in character, but like as well as like there should be more than just that. Like that's like the simple answer.
Yeah.
It seems like there should be like something for that and like something like a character.
Yeah,
arc.
there's got to be a journey.
Yeah, there's not. She's really just there, and then she's not even there for the ending, which is crazy. Because like I didn't realize that when I watched it. Because like when we saw this in theaters, I also was extremely tired because I was doing like 5 summer classes.
Dude, yeah, you told me.
So, and like this came out like right like near the end. So I was like doing all these exams and shit. So I remember when we saw it at 9 p.m. And like that's not that late. But for me, like an hour and I was like coming in and out of sleep. So I was like, I would do that thing where like you wake yourself up because your head falls forward. Mm-hmm. I was like wake myself up.
Catch yourself falling.
Yeah, I would catch it happened multiple times. So I didn't even realize this when we first saw it.
Shows how boring the movie is. No, I'm just kidding. No, this dude was asleep.
In the rewatch, I realized that Valkyrie is not even in like the final battle with the kids and all that.
Because
she's gone.
They go to Thor's planet or Gore's planet.
Yeah.
They come back and they're like, "Damn, we got our asses kicked." And then he's like, "All right," like he's like, "I'm going again." And then just Thor and Jane go.
Yeah, and Valkyrie says something like, "Oh, like." Be safe, or I don't know. For some reason she's just done. Like
that's where the story feels weird because like I thought it was gonna be on this big scale of Christian Bale like killing gods, but the main like thing in the plot, and this is probably my main gripe, is like he just takes some New Asgard kids, holds them hostage, and then Thor's like, "We gotta stop them," like the kids, bro.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem even to be about.
Well, the reason why he took the kids is because he wants Thor to come because he needs Stormbreaker. That's what he needs. He needs Thor's weapon.
I feel like he could have done something way better than just like killing kids, bro. He could have been like
Thor was gonna come regardless, right?
Yeah, he could have just been like every day I don't get you to come give me Stormbreaker, I'm gonna kill a god. Like he could have easily done something like that.
You know what would have been cooler? I don't know if they would have done this because like it would have been more, I guess, if instead maybe he like captured Valkyrie. Maybe he's like gonna kill her unless Thor comes, because like at least then, because like the kids, it's it's kids, so you're gonna want to save them. But at least with Valkyrie, like she was in the movie prior, so everybody like has like a connection to her. The audience does.
Yeah.
Thor does. Like Jane has some because like they met each other in the beginning. I don't know. They would have to rewrite the story a bit, but like maybe like that would, I don't know, because she's a god.
That sounds interesting. Wait, who?
Valkyrie. She's part god. I mean, she's a fucking Valkyrie.
Oh, that's true.
When you're brought on as Odin's like protectors on the Valkyrie team, you're supposed to be given godlike power.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting arc, honestly, if Valkyrie got taken instead of kids, because like her being a Valkyrie, someone that's sworn to protect like gods and stuff, and Gore's on the other side of like not having any faith in gods and wanting to kill. I could see some interesting dialogue happening where they talk about it, and maybe that could have been part of her arc.
Maybe they could have killed her.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like if you kill her like that, at least that makes the story more serious. Like Jane dies, but maybe that's why they didn't do that, because they knew Jane was gonna die in a way. I don't know. I feel like that's more interesting than the kids, and that's just like a random like spitballing thing. Like you could spitball it and come up with better ideas.
They're just in the writers' room like. Maybe he takes some kids. Like that's what it.
It's like maybe Heimdall has a son. And like that's how he talks to them.
Like maybe he FaceTimes him. God, we got to talk about that scene, bro. There's a scene in this movie where Heimdall's son, he has the power same as Heimdall.
He's got FaceTime.
He's got FaceTime vision. He's got the eyes. There's actually some cool scenes though where Thor, he like, I guess Heimdall visions into like where the kid's cave is at.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like telling them like, "Yo, y'all safe." He's like, "Don't worry, y'all not gonna die." And they're just like, "When are you coming?" And he's like, "I'm getting the plan. Like it's really good.
I'm on my way."
He's like, "Trust." But there's a scene where Heimdall's son, he does this, his like FaceTime vision. He's literally like a floating head that appears in the room.
It's like a yellow floating head.
Yeah.
And it comes out of nowhere. Like it just kind of shows up, right?
Like,
I'm not gonna lie. When it happened on screen, I actually thought somebody was like flashing like a flashlight on the screen because it was like such a weird colored yellow in like one spot, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, wait, I literally was like, what is going on?
I don't know, bro.
But I will say this. They changed it in the Disney Plus version that I watched the second time.
I should watch it.
You could probably like look it up. You can probably, I'm sure there's articles written on it because that was a big thing people talked about where they were like damn bro, like why the VFX looks so bad? Because like a big thing Marvel fans and like people been complaining about recently is they said the VFX looks awful, and I think it's a bit of a overreaction for the most part because like a lot of the VFX like looks so good that you don't even know it's VFX, you know. Like a lot of stuff is via. Oh yeah, you found it.
Here's what it looks like. We'll put a link in the bio.
It's a pretty.
It does look a lot better. I think the first one it just gave me like.
It looks.
I don't know. That one looks even funnier.
They just fixed his line up, bro.
I know
they lined his hair up more.
They lined his hair up.
Is it the same take? You think, or
I don't know.
It looks visually so different.
I've been concerned about this for a while. About
this has been on your mind. You've been thinking about this for weeks.
About like the VFX in Marvel movies just being rushed and stuff.
I do think that's part of it too.
It's crazy that CGI looks like really bad like this, especially with the technology we have now. When like in the early 2010s, 2000s, like movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, what's it called? Like they had better VFX, you know, like Davy Jones and stuff like that.
Davy Jones looks really good.
Yeah.
I think I do definitely think this VFX looks bad. Like this kid, I don't know if they just didn't know what they were gonna do. Like, I mean, why couldn't they? Like Heimdall, the way Heimdall communicated is he just talked. Like he didn't like fucking appear in front of Thor. Didn't he literally just like his eyes were glowing and he was just talking and Thor heard him?
No,
wasn't that how he talked? How did he communicate with him before?
I think in Thor 1 or 2, like Thor, like Heimdall would do the thing, and Thor would like come in the same location as him, like he'd be in the same area.
Like he brought Thor to him.
Yeah, and Thor would just be like, "Oh shit, like this is where you are," and then he would talk to him. Because remember in Ragnarok, like Heimdall, like he does it, and he sees where Heimdall's taking the people.
Yeah, he sees where they're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so why? But because they do that anyway. Like Thor ends up getting transported to the kids.
Yeah.
So why didn't they just do that? Like, why didn't they just have why didn't they just have a scene where like Thor turns around, he's there?
I don't know.
Like, why did they have to throw in like a random floating head and then make some jokes about it?
It was weird because I think it was just something we've never seen before.
I guess it just feels odd
because like we know what Heimdall's powers were, but like never seeing him like that, it was just like
they should have just done exactly what Heimdall's done in the past.
Yeah,
because it felt weird that he's doing something that Heimdall's never done.
Because it's his son,
like he should have the exact same power.
Yeah, I don't know.
It felt like
Thor taught him how to use the powers. Remember, he was like, "Oh, you can talk to me. Like you can actually take me to where you are, and I can see it." And then later on, he takes him in the cage. Remember?
Yeah, I guess that's why. I mean, like.
It's just really messy. You
don't even have to do that. You could just say that he knows how to do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like messy plot holes and things that aren't fully explained that you kind of just have to deal with in this movie.
One thing that's kind of interesting, and you probably didn't notice this, you think no one would notice this unless you paused it, but like at the beginning or that part where they're at that area and Meek should be in this more, honestly. That's what the movie's missing.
That's what we were missing.
Yeah, we need more Meek. Because Meek's in it.
There's needs to be more Meek and less Korg.
Yeah, there's a lot of
overly. This movie suffers from too much.
I don't know why Korg's in this so fucking much, dude. I like Korg, but like, I felt like he didn't even need to be in this.
That's
like,
true.
Korg is only there to be funny. Like he's comedic relief, but like Thor is already comedic. He can be comedic relief as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's like two characters trying to fill the same role. I did like how, I mean, they kind of copped out, but Zeus kills Korg at one point in the movie.
I wish he would have stayed dead.
Yeah, I thought that would have added more weight, but it's another fake out.
And he's like, oh, I guess my face is.
He's like, my face is still alive. Yeah,
fuck. I was gonna say that with Meek.
Oh yeah.
There's a part where he's in a suit. He's like, I guess like Valkyrie's like right hand man or something.
It's like the secretary.
Yeah, he's got like a chalkboard up with like a lot of drawings on it, and if you pause it. It actually has like drawings of like the entire story, including the part that we haven't seen of Thor Love and Thunder. So it actually technically spoils the movie.
What?
Like it shows the entire thing. Like it's like Meek drew it, and it's like an Easter egg, I guess.
Dude, I bet what Meek was drawing up was better than the actual movie.
Yeah, Meek was spitting.
Dude.
I don't know. I feel like probably this movie just needs a bit more like serious parts.
I think it just needs, I agree. Like it needs more focus on what its overall tone wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of scenes could have been done differently. Maybe the deleted scenes should have been added. We needed more.
That Zeus one for sure, I think.
Yeah. I think honestly taking the whole part where Thor kills Zeus because he killed Korg, like if you were just going to keep him alive just to kill Zeus, like...
And I don't see the point of that because Zeus isn't even dead.
Yeah.
Like he's not dead at all. He's like immediately back in the post-credit scene.
Yeah. And then like they don't even really suffer any consequences because of that. Like...
It seems like the only reason why they did that was to introduce Hercules, but like could they not have just like introduced him another way? Like it seems like what they're doing is they're setting up, I guess Hercules is going to go fight Thor.
I'm still waiting for Beta Ray Bill, bro. I do not give a shit about Hercules. When we saw it, my girlfriend was like, that's the ugliest dude they could have picked for Hercules.
Y'all hating on Hercules?
Bro, he don't even look that big. You know that shit was CGI. Like, you know he's not that big.
It was. The actor looks like a normal guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he'll beef up for if he comes back. I mean, he has to. He's got time. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like if they want to do Hercules, like, they don't have to do that whole Zeus thing because it seems like Zeus is mad. He's like, damn, bro, like, they fucking with us. And he's like, oh, but, like, he's like, you got my back, right? And then Hercules is just like,
yeah.
Like, that's all that they did. Like, I feel like they could have still introduced Hercules by, like, I don't know. Like, let's say if they instead of killing him, he had the scene where he goes and talks to him. Maybe he's like, man, he's like my son. Like, I don't want you to become like me. Like, he's like, we've been here in Olympus for too long. I want you to. He's like, don't become like me. Like, go out there, like or something like that. And then it's Hercules.
Yeah. Now
he has motivation. He's like, okay, my dad's telling me like he's no longer pure or whatever, because that's what the deleted scene was about.
Yeah.
So that could have been the motivation for Hercules to be introduced.
Yeah. Maybe he just wants to challenge like Thor.
And now, maybe he wants to go out and like. I guess the only reason why they did it is because they want to set it up as like a whole or a Thor versus Hercules thing.
Yeah. That's,
I guess, the only reason why they did that. So it seems like they sacrificed a good deleted scene that makes the tone better and like makes another part in the story make more sense. They'd sacrifice that for a post-credit scene that'll set up something.
Yeah, and honestly, I've started to not care about a lot of the post-credit scenes because they seem to either set up stuff that won't happen or come to fruition because of like stuff behind the scenes, or they're just like gags. Like they're just like funny. The second post-credit scene we got was Jane Foster in Valhalla.
I don't even like. That's okay. Like I guess I don't even feel like I needed it though.
The
she went to Valhalla,
or the second one.
Because like I mean I guess it's nice. Like I guess confirming she's in Valhalla, but like what is that set up? Like that's just like confirming that she's dead.
She's like, damn, I'm in heaven.
That's
like
pretty much all that happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the point of that is.
Yeah, I feel like it would have added more weight if the last we saw her character was when Thor was with her.
It feels like why are they doing that? Like, because like I'm like those characters are dead. They're not coming back. Like I doubt they bring them back in any way. I mean, I guess in comics nobody's ever truly dead. You could always figure out something. Like maybe there's some way that people from Valhalla can come help. You know, that they could always write something in comics.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just feel like that Natalie Portman seems like she's done. She seems like this was like she came back to like do this last story.
Yeah, I'm glad she was in it. I think she's aged like fine wine, bro. She's she's a really good actress.
I agree.
I'm glad that she's in this movie, and I'm glad that they did the Jane Foster arc.
Yeah,
I know that Omar, our boy Omar, still hasn't been on the podcast, but he's a very big Thor fan.
We should ask his opinion on this movie whenever.
Man, we could have. If he was here, we would definitely have had him on the Thor.
He was gonna be here for the movie. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
He was gonna come back.
We were gonna see it with him.
We were gonna see it with him. That means we probably would have filmed with him. We would have been probably had more of an enticement to do it with him. Sure. You know. But I mean, hopefully he comes back this next break.
I think it's December. He said he's coming back.
I mean, I hope so. It's been like over a year.
Yeah.
Normally it used to be like once a year, but now it's been over a year because of COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he does, we should try and remember to ask him, have him on, and we could talk about something.
Yeah, talk about some Marvel project
and ask him what he thought of this. Because I'm interested because he's probably the biggest Thor fan out of any of us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I think maybe at times I've been too harsh on this movie with how bad it is. I still think it's definitely.
I mean, it's not dog shit.
Yeah, it's not. It's no Morbius.
It's not.
I can still put this on and enjoy it.
It's not like what's an MCU movie that's like it's not as bad as like Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah,
it's not like that.
It's more rewatchable than Thor: The Dark World.
I'd say I'd rather watch this than Eternals.
I think so too. Well, I like the casting of Eternals. I think there's way too much like exposition and setup.
Yeah, I agree.
Till the final fight that really doesn't really pay off for anything.
And then the one dude ends up just like
Icarus.
Icarus, his whole thing is he's like, nah, like I'm gonna follow my orders, but then he's like, nah, and then he just kills himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not dead.
I loved Icarus the way they showed his powers.
Yeah, I like how he was OP.
The cast was so good for that, man.
I mean, they're still there. I mean, wait, did any of them die? Because I don't think
Gilgamesh, I think, died.
Which one is he? Oh yeah, he did die.
And then Icarus. Well,
there's no way
died.
He's dead.
Yeah, he just went into the sun.
I
think he's just like dormant.
He's just chilling in the sun.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah.
And I guess we know we're getting Eternals too, and I guess Harry Styles is in it.
Fuck that. Fuck
bro,
Harry
when he
Styles.
Showed up, I was like, what the fuck,
dude? This man, he's pushing 30. I think he's 28, actually? 29. I think he's 28. Dude, I don't know.
Hey, we gotta watch "Don't Worry, Darling" and report on that.
You know what? I will.
Because I've seen.
I don't want to give any money to that movie, but you know.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw that trailer, the very first one, you and I both said we were very excited.
Yeah.
Hype for it. My hype has now died down because of the drama surrounding it. But then also, I don't know about you, but like I saw a clip released. It wasn't like recorded from the thing, because I know some people are posting clips from the movie. I saw this was officially released on the Don't Worry Darling Twitter.
Oh.
It's a scene of Florence Pugh and Harry Styles acting, and I guess they're like in a relationship in that movie, and they're in an argument. And this man's British in real life, and my boy, like this guy, I guess he can't hold the accent back. I know it's a hard thing to do for actors.
Is it when he's yelling at her?
Yeah, he's yelling.
Is it when they're in? Okay.
He's yelling in his accent. He sounds like he's got like 4 different accents.
He's like, I built all of this.
Yeah, it's bad.
Boss.
It's not good because like he's supposed to be American, right? In this, like his character's American.
Yeah, it's
right?
supposed to be like a Westworld 50s type era.
So he's American in the movie. Like, yeah. So it's not even like one word. You're like, oh, the pronunciation there sounds weird. It's like a whole damn sentence. It's like, okay, this sounds like a British guy yelling right here. The guy, he sounds slightly Welsh here. Why does he sound Irish at the end? Like, it's like, it's bad.
It's weird.
I'm not going to lie. It's pretty bad. And like, I know he's not an actor. He's not a trained actor. So why did we cast him?
He was in Dunkirk, but he said 2 words.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I don't get. I feel, and this is why I might lose, if his acting performance is not good for the duration of the movie because of that. Because like, look, if I feel like somebody can do an accent, it's pretty easy to do one if you're talking your normal voice.
Yeah.
As soon as you start having to do emotions, like different ranges, yelling, using your voice, it's hard to keep that. Even for people that are like professionally trained, that have done this their whole life, they still have slip ups where like their words are, like even
usually actors have like a dialect coach that they talk to.
And I doubt, I mean, it seems like from what I can tell, if that's the take they went with, I don't even want to see the outtakes. Like, if that's the best take of Harry Styles. God.
Do you think that Harry Styles being cast in this role has anything to do with the director Olivia Wilde dating Harry Styles?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. From what I've heard, it sounds like she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll cast you.
I'm gonna give my Zaddy a IMDb credit."
Yeah,
that's what she was thinking.
I mean, that's what it seems like, because from what I've heard, I mean, we can get into this if we review the movie, but real quick, just what I want to say.
Okay.
It sounds like they wanted Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And then they didn't, but then Florence Pugh said no because I guess he had sexual assault allegations or like abuse allegations. I don't know which one. I'll do the research whenever we do this movie review. But she
didn't want Shia LaBeouf.
So yeah, Florence Pugh was like, I won't do it if he's the guy I'm acting with. I have to act with because she didn't feel comfortable with.
Honestly, at this point, I would pick Florence Pugh being in the movie just because I feel like she fits the look and aesthetic of it.
I think
more
she's
than
a
Shia.
great actress too. Yeah. But I think Shia is definitely a better actor than Harry Styles.
Oh yeah.
So I think 100%. So like I think what happened is she was like, damn, okay, well, if I can't convince Florence Pugh and Shia LaBeouf to work together, then I guess I don't know why the fuck she went with Harry Styles.
Yeah. Dude, there was a whole other list of people.
She could have gotten like an actual. It's gotta be.
Could have gotten like Henry Cavill.
It's gotta be because
maybe
they're
Ryan
like
Reynolds.
they're dating or something. Whatever the fuck they're doing.
Could have got Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, they
I know he's in his twink era, bro.
His twink era. What the?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited for Barbie, dude.
Yeah.
Those are the next 2 reviews coming up very soon, guys. We got Don't Worry, Darling, which I think comes out this Friday.
It came. Well, yeah, it came out.
Oh, it's already out?
It came out this past weekend. We're filming this on a Sunday. This is opening weekend for it.
Oh, okay.
So we can see it any day. It's free. It's not free.
It's
it's out.
We're gonna try to
I want to see Barbarian.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna review it. There's a ton of movies out right now. I'm low key behind.
Yeah.
I wanted to see X the beginning of the year. I haven't seen it, and now there's a prequel on it. Pearl. I heard that's really good.
We could just have a whole movie day this weekend. Honestly,
I agree.
Catch up on the movies. Drop the reviews.
But yeah. Anyway, Thor: Love and Thunder. Nick, what are you rating this movie?
So out of 5 stars, I think I'm gonna give this movie probably a 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.5 on a good day, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is.
Yeah.
There's some gripes with the story and the direction and tone that they try to have for it. It's a little inconsistent at times, which makes me try not to take it too seriously.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think they definitely underutilized Christian Bale.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that, like we talked about, Valkyrie probably could have had a more complete arc.
Yeah, why?
Because it just seems like
disappears for the third act.
Yeah, it seems like she's just a background character. And honestly, I feel like as much as I like Korg and his funny little lines, he didn't really need to be in this. And if he did, he could have either died or sacrificed himself to maybe teach Thor a lesson.
We just need Meek.
Yeah, we needed Meek to really step up and take the spotlight.
Dude,
man.
Meek should have been worthy.
Yeah. Dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine Endgame? Thor's just getting his ass beat.
And you think it's gonna go to Jane?
Yeah.
It goes to Meek.
Dude, that actually would have made me cry. I would have just been like, Shia LaBeouf when he's like clapping in the theater.
Oh yeah,
he's like
stands up.
That would have been mean.
I agree. I think I was gonna say the same thing. A 3 out of 5, which would translate to a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So yeah, it's like to me it's a 6 because like a 7 to me is like an average movie. Like I'd say 7.
I enjoyed it.
Like it's fun. I think it had enough wrong with it to where I'm like, oh, it's got to be a little below that.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, 5 is where it begins to get bad. Like it's like this is mid.
Yeah, Morbius is below 5.
Oh, Morbius, I gave like a fucking half star on Letterboxd.
I think I did too.
It's so
we
dog
were
shit,
flabbergasted at how.
What's crazy is it doesn't start off that bad. Like at first, it's like okay,
oh yeah,
like it's all right, and then as soon as it starts getting bad, it just continuously. It's insane how it just it starts going crazy with how dog it is.
Love and Thunder over Morbius any day.
Easy. So yeah, I'd say 6 out of 10, 3 stars out of 5. It's not the best, but it's not mid. It's slightly above mid. There's some good, like there's good parts in it. There's some like the action scenes,
Oh yeah, the action scenes are top.
Exactly. So it's because of that, like I can't give it like a bad score. It's got to be like a 6.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder. This is another unanimous rating. We're both giving it 3 out of 5 stars.
Yep. Hey, let us know down below what you would rate this movie. What you think of the film?
Yeah.
Do you think it's straight crack?
Are you on crack and you enjoy it?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Let us know.
And yeah, I wonder. I guess the only question we really need to answer is who's going to direct Thor 5? Because when they rolled the credits and it says Thor will return in Thor 5 or whatever,
yeah.
Even Taika Watiti and Chris Hemsworth,
they both were like, "Oh shit, really? Like I'm
huh?
back. I'm coming back."
Yeah. Kevin Feige was in the back of the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna give me another one.
I mean, I guess he seems like he likes playing the character, so I'm sure he would do it for the right amount of money.
Yeah, Thor definitely feels like the grandfather of the MCU at this point. Like he's gonna always kind of be there. He's a god that lives for so long. I'm interested who they're gonna to look to direct the new movie, and I wonder what tone they're gonna go for.
I think at this point they have to switch it up. I mean, like I like Taika Watiti. I just
stylistically, I think he's like a genius with it. Like,
I agree. I just feel like if look, if he wants to have his own trilogy, because then he would need one more for a trilogy of his, even though Thor's had a trilogy. If he wanted to have 3 of his own Thor movies, like kind of like James Gunn has his Guardians movies, if he wanted to have that, I would be willing to give him one more shot, because Ragnarok's like really good. This one's not as good at all. It's like, we We've talked about it. So because of that, it's not like he had 2 stinkers in a row. You know what I mean? Because of that and the work he's done, I'd be willing to be like, you know what? You can have another one, but this one's got to be like, this is your last one. Make it. You got to go hard.
Yeah, make it some dope shit.
You know
Beta Ray
mean?
Bill.
Yeah, if he
fuck the Hercules thing. I hope they introduce Hercules in Thor 5 just to kill him. Like to build him up and be like, Thor.
Kill him right away.
He's like knocking at his door like, let's fucking and he just kills him.
So yeah, if I'd be willing to give him one more shot just so that happens, because like, you know, like, he's not a bad director at all.
Yeah, I'd give him another chance.
But I think if it is true, the rumors that he is not coming back because of all the memes and Twitter and shit and all the backlash, I wouldn't mind that either. In all honesty, I think I would do either one. I don't want him to come back. Like, it's not like it's that fucking bad.
Yeah,
it's in my opinion, like, you know, there was things that wrong with it, but it doesn't make it a god awful movie. So I'd be willing to let him come back. So. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, that's our review of Thor Love and Thunder. Let us know what you guys think. Are you Team Mjolnir or Team Stormbreaker? You know, what side were you on?
We didn't even talk about that. How they're like sentient now or something.
Yeah, I thought that was a funny little aspect. Yeah. I love the scene where he's trying to call Mjolnir from Jane's hand, and like it just comes up like an angry wife.
I was just calling you.
Yeah, he's like, it's like, oh. Yeah, I think the love triangles in this movie are pretty funny. It definitely held up to the love aspect of it.
Yeah, there's still some good comedy in this. Like there's parts that made me laugh. Yeah,
I think that it just suffers for me to the point where, I guess the jokes kind of trump the story and stuff like that. But I do think that this movie is still very funny. I was laughing like a good amount of it.
I agree.
Funny ass movie.
Anyway, there's the review. Let us know what you guys think, as Nick said. Make sure to check out the socials. You know, we on Twitter. We going hard on there. We got our Letterboxd profiles are there. You know, Nick on Twitch.
We on Twitch, baby.
Nick's doing his hot tub streams if you want to see those.
I was actually streaming Fortnite for 4 hours the other day.
Nick's a Fortnite fanatic.
I had no excuse playing that long, but you know, new battle pass, dude, you know I gotta hop on.
I agree. Anyway, there's a review. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.